investiture ceremony for Chancellor Andrew Rogerson of the University of Arkansas at Little Rock is declared open. Please stand for the presentation of colors and remain standing for the national anthem. Please be seated.
Good afternoon. It's a true pleasure for me to be here, faculty, staff, students, alumni, and other supporters of the University of Arkansas at Little Rock. This is a very important moment for the campus, for our university system, and this community. I bring you greetings on behalf of the University of Arkansas Board of Trustees and your sister institutions across the University of Arkansas system, who join me in congratulating Dr. Andrew Rogerson on his investiture as the 10th Chancellor of the University of Arkansas Little Rock. The investiture of a Chancellor is not only a time to welcome a new leader to a university, but it also serves as a historical marker, point in time, when we can pause and reflect where this university has been and where it's going. I do want to extend my special appreciation to our Board of Trustees members who are here today, Mr. Ben Heidemann, Mr. Mark Waldrop, Mr. Morrill Harriman, and Ms. Kelly Eichler for their presence. I also want to thank and congratulate Mrs. Janessa Rogerson. The Rogersons truly function as a team in handling the substantial duties and responsibilities of this position. And as my wife frequently reminds me, behind every successful man is a very surprised mother-in-law. All kidding aside, I want to thank Susan for attending today's ceremony and accompanying me to 13 different commencements this month. I would also like to thank and acknowledge the work of Bob Denneman and the search committee who led the search and who, through their careful and thoughtful work, identified Dr. Rogerson as the next chancellor. The members of the committee had deep and abiding respect for this institution and its importance to Little Rock and indeed to Arkansas. We know that this institution, though, is much bigger than a single individual or even the full collective of those of us here today. University of Arkansas at Little Rock is an institution that has served as a cornerstone. It's an institution that has, for almost a century, has given thanks and educated countless students, faculty, staff, and alumni who have walked this campus and shaped its legacy. This institution has been a place which has continually provided a positive influence on the social, the cultural, the intellectual, and indeed the economic development of Little Rock. While we all serve as guardians of that legacy, Chancellor, as the chief steward of the institution, sets the tone and the agenda for the future. These are very uncertain times for higher education across the state and country, and leaders must grapple with very difficult choices as we shape the future of our universities. Here at UA Little Rock, we've been fortunate to have the steady hand of Dr. Joel Anderson preside over this wonderful institution for the past 13 years. His leadership left a lasting impact on this university, this community, and his commitment to diversity changed the institution and the city. I've learned quickly in my time as president of the U of A system that finding the right leader, the best people to lead our institutions, is the most important aspect of my job and indeed probably the most challenging. While there are many qualified candidates who can serve in the role of a university chancellor, identifying the right fit for each position is critical to the success of that campus. So when we began our search for the next chancellor here at UA Little Rock, we had to identify those qualities we wanted in a leader who could best tackle the challenges and seize on the opportunities the university faced. First and foremost, we wanted someone who understood the unique mission of UA Little Rock as a metropolitan university in the state's capital city. It's a role that is critical both to the students we serve and to the overall economy of this region. In today's environment, we also needed a chancellor who understands the importance of improving student access and student success through to retention and then graduation. For the sake of our students and their ability to benefit from the services we provide, we must improve our student success rates at all levels. This is an effort that we're promoting across the U of A system. And finally, we knew that the new chancellor should also be someone who could navigate the difficult funding challenges facing public higher education today. When we know that the flow of state and federal supports to public colleges and universities has declined in recent years, and no institution has been more affected by this change across the nation than the public metropolitan university. Finally, as the state moves to an outcomes-based funding model, we need a leader who can implement an agenda to respond to this new paradigm. Simply put, we found a chancellor who not only met these criteria, but also far exceeded our expectations. Dr. Rogerson's experience could not be more in line with the mission and the values here at UA Little Rock. He is an accomplished biologist with over 100 refereed publications in the most prestigious journals in his field. He comes to us with an extensive and indeed impressive administrative resume, documenting his experience both as a dean of a College of Science at Marshall University and California State University, Fresno, and as provost at Sonoma State University. But that is not all. Dr. Rogerson is a true Renaissance man, in that he's also an accomplished and recognized artist. I could continue down Dr. Rogerson's extensive resume, but I think I made myself clear. I'm convinced we found the right leader at the right time for UA Little Rock. A hallmark of his career is that each institution he has served at was better at the time of his departure than it was when he arrived. I expect the same for UA Little Rock. While I'm convinced that Dr. Rogerson's background and skills set him up to have success here in Little Rock, I would also like to provide a word of caution about the road that lies ahead. I would submit to each of you here today that he will not be successful without the help and support of everyone in this room. And this brings me back to the idea I began my remarks with. We must remember that this university and its legacy is the product of the efforts of countless individuals over many, many years. Identifying the right person to serve as chancellor, of course, is of critical importance. But equally important is the efforts of those who surround the chancellor. The opportunities offered here at UA Little Rock are critical to the future of Little Rock, critical to the region and indeed the state. Maintaining a vibrant university that is adapting to the needs of the community is of utmost importance to the quality of life of everyone who resides in Little Rock. So today we officially invest and welcome Dr. Andrew Rogerson as Chancellor of the University of Arkansas at Little Rock. But in doing so, we renew our commitment to this university and to doing our part to preserve its vital role in this community, this region, and indeed the entire state. Thank you. At a conference we recently hosted at the University of Arkansas System Office, I coined the term Arkansas's Economic Development Governor for Governor Asa Hutchinson because of the countless hours he spent traversing the globe in search of business opportunities for Arkansans. And while I still believe this to be an appropriate moniker for the governor, I don't want to sell short his emphasis on education, which goes hand in hand with economic growth. Governor Hutchinson has shown his understanding of the important relationship between education and economic development through his master plan for higher education. This calls for increasing the post-secondary completion rate in our state to 60% by 2025. The goals of the plan include raising completion and graduation rates, increasing enrollment of adult students, raising attainment rates of underserved students, and improving college affordability. As part of this plan, he and his team have developed a new outcomes-based funding formula for public colleges and universities, which will encourage our institutions to reach their full potential. As our state's major metropolitan universities serving students of all ages, all races, and backgrounds here in the capital city, the University of Arkansas Little Rock will clearly play a crucial role in helping achieve the goals of the governor's master plan. So it's only appropriate to have Governor Hutchinson here with us today to renew his commitment to higher education and economic development, and to help us welcome in Chancellor Rogerson. Please join me in welcoming the 46th Governor of Arkansas, our state's Education and Economic Development Governor, Asa Hutchinson.
Thank you, Dr. Bobbitt, members of the Board of Trustees, members of the faculty, administration, students of the University of Arkansas at Little Rock. It is good to see so many of the other chancellors from institutions of higher education across the state here today to support this institution and the investiture of Dr. Andrew Rogerson. And let me tell you, it is good for me to be on the campus of the University of Arkansas at Little Rock. I look at this campus, this institution, and I see an incredible history. I see a wonderful investment, bright students that will make an impact on our city and state and nation in the coming years. And so on behalf of the state of Arkansas, I'm honored to extend my congratulations to Dr. Rogerson and to express my personal excitement about the future of the University of Arkansas at Little Rock as a leader in higher education in the state of Arkansas. And as was noted by Dr. Bobbitt in my introduction, I'm spending quite a bit of time recruiting industry to the state. And it gives me great pleasure when I see that we have a 3.6% unemployment rate, the lowest in the recorded history of Arkansas. But just as significantly, I recently had a conversation with President Trump, and I reminded him that Arkansas is a leader in the global marketplace. We have investments from China. We have our U.S. companies that are overseas. We have our agriculture that is sold in the global marketplace. And it's important to remember the role that Arkansas plays in this incredible mobile society and global marketplace. And that brings me to the University of Arkansas at Little Rock. We need the University of Arkansas at Little Rock to be a leader in higher education for that global marketplace. And you have done incredible work. As Dr. Bobbitt mentioned, one goal that we have is to increase the percent of Arkansans who hold post-secondary degrees or certifications to the level of 60% of our people in this state. And to accomplish that, we have to have all institutions engaged in that. We have to have our high schools, our secondary institutions that are engaged in it, in preparing students for our university systems. And the continued leadership of UA Little Rock in the areas of excellence that you have already established is critical to our future. In the areas of nanotechnology, data analytics, business administration, and all the areas of business, in the arts, in public policy, just to name a few of the areas of excellence here. Little Rock is the seat of government, and it is important in our seat of government to have an institution of higher education that is a leader in all of these fields. And from a personal standpoint, I'm delighted with the sports program here. I'm a fan of coming to this institution. I've been here to watch Trojan basketball. And so, Dr. Rogerson, I'm an admirer of yours. You've been on the ground for a relatively short amount of time, but you've already found your way to my office. And that's a good thing. And it's clear that you have the enthusiasm, the energy to lead this institution. And I'm a personal admirer of the fact that you have a Ph.D. in protozoan ecology. I just wanted to make sure I could say that. But clearly you're a leader in the academic arena, and we know that you'll be a great leader for the University of Arkansas at Little Rock. And I hope that you find the same connection to the hills of Arkansas that are connected to the hills of Scotland. There is a connection in music and in our topography as well. Congratulations, Dr. Rogerson. Congratulations, the University of Arkansas at Little Rock.
Thank you, Governor. French Hill was elected in November of 2014 to represent Central Arkansas in the U.S. House of Representatives. A ninth-generation Arkansan, Representative Hill has been actively engaged in the Arkansas business community for more than 2 decades and was founder, chairman, and chief executive officer of Delta Trust and Banking Corporation. Our 2nd District Congressman, though, is no stranger to Washington, D.C., having served as a senior official in the administration of President George H.W. Bush. In 1991, at the age of 34, President Bush appointed Representative Hill to be Executive Secretary to the President's Economic Policy Council. Throughout his career, Mr. Hill has been active in civic affairs. He is past president of the Rotary Club here in Little Rock, and he's had other posts, most notably for this audience, as past president and trustee of the George W. Donaghy Foundation. While in that role, he was instrumental in the creation of the Emerging Analytics Center here at the University of Arkansas Little Rock. We're very grateful in the University of Arkansas system for his steadfast support of this university, and we appreciate his presence and his time here today. This is a very significant occasion. Please join me in welcoming Congressman French Hill to the podium.
What a pleasure to be here on the winning basketball court of the UALR Trojans. For the past quarter century, I've been fully engaged in watching the growth and development of this exceptional institution. I really enjoyed the opportunity to work with Chancellor Hathaway on the idea of an engineering school, Chancellor Anderson on giving back to our community, becoming the glue in our community in the university district, in the arts, in reshaping our campus, in expanding the engineering school and the Emerging Analytics Center. And personally, for someone from the business community, it's been such a treat to watch the College of Business grow and expand and really bless this city with world-class employees across the board. Dr. Rogerson is the 10th leader of UA Little Rock, with its history starting back in 1927. Governor Donaghy would be amazed at what's become of this fine institution. Long serving the higher education needs of our urban center, UALR, part of the University of Arkansas family of institutions, today continues to provide educational opportunity for Arkansas students and create economic development for our state, and most importantly, for the 2nd Congressional District. With a Ph.D. in ecology, Dr. Rogerson is an accomplished researcher and scientist who understands the value and the importance of university research. That's how we develop business and industries and high growth in the future, and creating jobs to move our state forward. You see that in the work at NIH, you see that in the work at UAMS, and you see in that collaboration here at UA Little Rock, where we perform world-class research in such areas as bone regeneration using nanotechnology, using virtual reality to simulate military training environments. And having this level of research conducted in our state is of great importance to Arkansas's place in our global economy. All the building blocks are ready for our biologist as chancellor. Our venture center, our BioVentures at UAMS, the small business development work we do here on campus, the innovation hub in North Little Rock, Governor Hutchinson's coding initiative, and the partnerships we have across this state. They're ready for a scientist to come back to the chancellorship at UA Little Rock. I know he will forge strong collaborations with business, industry, and government. And he has that as a goal for the continued development of this region. Dr. Rogerson, we're ready for your leadership. You focused on opening the door to all in Central Arkansas citizens for accessible, affordable college. And I hope you'll be a voice with our legislature on the importance of funding higher education at the level it needs to be, and make sure that that's the focus for a better future for our state. And it's my honor on behalf of the citizens of the 2nd Congressional District to recognize you and to congratulate you on being the 10th Chancellor and your beautiful bride. My best wishes.
Thank you, Congressman Hill. We are honored today to welcome President Emeritus of Sonoma State University, Dr. Ruben Armiñana, as the featured speaker for this investiture. Dr. Armiñana in 1961 fled Cuba and settled in Hillsborough, Texas, with an aunt and uncle. He earned an associate's degree in economics and political science from Hill College, and then BA degrees in economics, political science, and Spanish, followed by an MA degree in Latin American economics from the University of Texas at Austin. Later, he earned his Ph.D. in political science from the University of New Orleans. Dr. Armiñana was president of Sonoma State University from 1992 to 2016. At the time of his retirement, he was the longest-serving president in the California State University system and the first Cuban American to head a campus in that same system. During his tenure, President Armiñana presided over an era of transformation for the university, growing it from a small computer campus to a thriving and highly regarded residential campus. Additionally, President Armiñana led the university to a steady increase in private donor support. He and his wife, Marnie Olson, successfully launched and completed the $145 million Green Music Center. Dr. Rogerson served as President Armiñana's Provost, Vice President for Academic Affairs, and Chief Academic Officer at Sonoma State University before moving here to University of Arkansas at Little Rock to become the 10th leader. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Ruben Armiñana to the podium to deliver the keynote address.
Good afternoon to all of you. It is a real pleasure for me and my wife, Marnie, and a group of close colleagues, friends, and family from California to be with you to participate and celebrate the investiture of our dear and admired friend, Dr. Andrew Rogerson, as Chancellor of the University of Arkansas at Little Rock. Also, his sister and niece are here from Scotland and Canada, for you have an international group together. It will help you with tax collections from all of these people. We want to congratulate you for being so wise in having selected Andrew and Janessa as your leaders and stewards. Since they have been with you for the past 8 months, you know that you made the right and proper decision, and that this institution will be better for that. The relationship of the university with its top leaders is very similar to that of a marriage. There was attraction, courting, getting to know each other well. Decisions were made for the long term. There was selection, marriage, and now a ceremony. You have moved together and now are growing into a long-lasting relationship. This relationship is based on love, trust, admiration, mutual interest, and excitement. It needs to be nurtured, never taken for granted, and it should keep growing and getting better. The consummation of this relationship is what we're to celebrate here today. They will give you their very best, and it's up to you to reciprocate in kind. As you heard, I was president of Sonoma State University for 24 years. Yes, I became president at the age of 12, at least in my mind. During these many years, I had a number of provosts and academic vice presidents, all very good, but nobody better than Andrew Rogerson. From the day he interviewed for the position, I knew he was the perfect choice for our campus. The same way I feel that he is the perfect choice for this university and its community. He's very bright, incisive, dedicated, intellectually very curious, hardworking, decisive, and committed to excellence. He's this rare combination of a scientist and an artist. As a matter of fact, there is an exhibition of his paintings in the university gallery. It is exceptional. I told somebody to watch that if there is one painting missing at the end of the exhibition, to look in Marnie's too small of a purse, because we would like to take it home with us. Andrew is analytical, good with data and figures, detailed and tenacious. At the same time, he's a humanist, that sees the best in people and institutions with an eye for color and beauty. He's dedicated to a safe, clean, and beautiful environment. But most importantly, he's an optimist who seeks solutions where others just see problems. In the years we worked together, he never came to me to discuss a problem for which he had not already devised a solution. Hopefully, his top administrative and academic team will do the same for him. I know he will do that for the board. Andrew is totally dedicated to the success of the students in and out of the classroom. He's a proud professor who measures a student's success by academic achievement, which leads to graduation and satisfaction. He's committed to create the academic environment where each student, and I want to emphasize the word each student, has the opportunity to achieve a personal and successful academic signatory experience in the classroom, laboratory, studio, stage, or the community. An achievement that the student can call its very own and be proud of it, as it serves as his or her mark of distinction in securing a job or continuing with a graduate education. Andrew is keenly interested in promoting the role of the university in the economic and social development of the community in which it resides. He told me that one of the principal attractions to this position was the close relationship and mutuality of interest between the University of Arkansas and the Little Rock area. He felt that the community was proud and supportive of the university, and that the feeling was mutual. He has commented to me several times how well received and welcome he and Janessa have felt. He believes that this mutually supportive relationship will continue to grow, and it will create significant benefits for all. this is also a good part of that marriage. The challenges to public higher education are numerous. In recent years, many states have seen a reduction of public funding, even disinvestments, to our universities. With many pressures to fund other needs, universities, especially in times of economic constriction, money is taken away, and it's easy to shift funds from higher education to the other needed areas. This is at best a short-term solution, which in the long run can be detrimental. Education is an investment which has multiple effects on several times the expenditure and significantly and positively affects our community. On the personal side, graduating from college means that your lifetime earnings will be greater by about $1 million than just having a high school degree. That is the best investment result that you can get from anywhere else. The university creates good taxpayers and better citizens. Equally important, higher education opens the door of social mobility and self-actualization. It helps overcome barriers of history and place. As you can tell by my deep southern accent, south of Key West, I came to the United States from Cuba when I was 14 years old as a political refugee with only one time in my pocket and a change of underwear. But it was because of the public education I received in Texas and Louisiana that allowed me to be successful and eventually become a university president. Andrew understands this well, as he also comes from humble beginnings in Scotland and now is your Chancellor. Similar opportunities for success are what is exactly what he wants to create for each and every student here. Public higher education is the economic and social engine of growth for your state and its communities. An educated workforce is the essential element for economic growth, social mobility, and equity. The university produces the educated and motivated professionals and entrepreneurs who create economic activity and social improvements. The university also creates the discoveries and intellectual expansions which create new opportunities, promote change, and a better quality of life. Andrew has other characteristics that serve him well at Sonoma State and that will also serve him well here at the University of Arkansas at Little Rock. First of all, he has a distinctive, some even will say, sexy accent. Before he came to Sonoma State, I was the guy with the accent. After he came, I was just the guy who spoke funny. He was the sexy one. This accent helps with people paying better attention to what you say. He has a keen sense of adventure and aesthetics. At Sonoma, we park next to each other, me with a boring gray Jeep SUV, Andrew with fast motorcycles and sports cars. Eventually, he also bought an MGB, same color, orange, and about the same age, over 40 years old than mine. He has his part in the house. Somehow, he looked much better and more appropriate than me in a British sports car. He knows and can fix the mechanical peculiarities and idiosyncrasies of all English cars, and I know how to write checks to mechanics. His abilities will help him fix things here and get checks from others to support this wonderful institution. Andrew and Janessa, we wish you happy and safe motoring in guiding the University of Arkansas at Little Rock to the challenging and exciting road to success. Bon voyage. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Rogerson, will you please join me at the podium? One of the criteria we have is that the Chancellor has to have a very, very strong neck. Ladies and gentlemen, the 10th Chancellor of the University of Arkansas at Little Rock.
I'm very proud to be standing here wearing this medallion that signifies a role that I have prepared for and embrace. Thank you, Ruben, for your thoughtful remarks. I deeply appreciate Governor Hutchinson and Congressman Hill for being with us today and for their support of this city's university. Thank you also to President Bobbitt, Mrs. Bobbitt, the University of Arkansas trustees, the Board of Visitors, and my fellow chancellors. As I look around the platform and out at all of you here, I am humbled knowing that so many of you have given of your creativity, your time, and your resources for something greater. The knowledge that we are equipping our students with an education that will empower their future, fuel their dreams, and provide innumerable benefits to our region. Thank you all for being here and for your support of UA Little Rock. Today I am honored to join an elite group of 9 previous scholars to lead this great university. This is a tremendous privilege and responsibility, and I am so fortunate to have the support and wisdom of my wife, Janessa. I am grateful to be joined by so many family and friends who have traveled far to be with us today. Our daughter Zoe has come from California, my sister Margot from Scotland, and my niece Samantha from Canada. Our Arkansas family, Joe, my sister-in-law, Jack and Betty Bean, Bob and Janet Bean, David Bean and his wife Donna. I'm honored to have my cabinet colleagues from Sonoma State University days with us. Our former First Lady Marnie Olson, former Vice President of Finance and CFO Larry Schlereth, former Vice President of University Affairs Dan Condren and his wife Janet, and Chief Information Officer Jason Wenrick and his partner Kevin Martin have all made the trip from California to celebrate with us. When I reflect on UA Little Rock's 90-year history, I see dramatic change, and I look forward to continuing that change in the coming decade. You may not know that this medallion bears the names of all the chancellors that have served at UA Little Rock. I believe in the adage that we stand on the shoulders of others, and I thank Dr. Joel Anderson and Ann Anderson for being here today and for all they have given. I also thank President Armaniana for his mentorship that brought me this far. As we embark on our future, let's take a moment to reflect on the past. In 1927, Little Rock Junior College was established to offer the benefits of higher education to the people of Central Arkansas. Nothing has changed regarding that mission. We remain one of the main drivers of economic development and the engine of societal development in the metro region by offering the very same benefits we did 90 years ago to the citizens of Little Rock. Today, fully 2/3 of our incoming students are from this area. Of course, there have been many changes. In 1957, the junior college underwent a dramatic transformation and became a 4-year institution, Little Rock University. 12 years later, in 1969, the University of Arkansas at Little Rock was born. One striking change has been cost, and I shall return to affordability later. Students enjoy tuition at $17 per semester hour, which I know begs the question, how much has it increased? Alas, 17-fold. But our bond to the region has been strengthened as our vision was refined by becoming the only member of the coalition of urban and metropolitan universities in the state. We promote excellence and build lives by disseminating knowledge to our students, the act of teaching, and by generating knowledge through our status as a research university. But most important, in today's rapidly evolving job market, increasingly we must show students how to apply knowledge. Today, standing here, I'm reminded of the support I've had along the way. As I prepared this talk, I was touched by the memory that my sister Margot typed my doctoral thesis for me when she was 8.5 months pregnant with Samantha. And both are here today, 39 years later, at the pinnacle of my academic career. Of all the teachers along my path who have supported me, one name in particular stands out. Dr. Curtis was my honors thesis supervisor in Scotland. Without his patience and exceptional mentoring that turned me into an ecologist, I would not have pursued a Ph.D. in microbial ecology and gone on to a very rewarding career in academia as a professor, as a dean, as a provost, and now a chancellor. As the years passed, I tried to locate Dr. Curtis some 25 years after graduating to thank him, but I was too late. He had passed. I offer this to remind all faculty and former faculty in this room, you will never know how many students you have influenced, how many lives you have transformed. That is the power of higher education and the power of this university I now have the privilege and responsibility of leading. This sets the tone for my comments. I want our students to have a transformational educational experience at UA Little Rock. We are making the changes necessary to be a showcase 21st century university in an urban environment. The importance of higher education has never been stronger. The vast majority of employers are looking for employees with post-secondary education. Entry-level jobs are disappearing with increased automation, making options for those with a high school diploma or less problematic. This changing paradigm was highlighted in a recent higher education survey, and I quote, "In the view of most Americans, a college education has now taken on the importance that a high school education had in the past and has become a necessary ingredient for a good job and comfortable lifestyle." So, our role in this region is crystal clear. We must be the engine to give the higher education opportunities to the citizens of the region and beyond. We must make education affordable and accessible, and we must give the right education for the 21st century. So what does the right education look like if it's going to be transformational? At this university, we're in the business to awaken minds so that our graduates can imagine possibilities. Our job, and that of the institutions, other institutions of the system, is to emphasize critical thinking, inquiry, the development of higher order thinking, and promote exceptional communication skills. The former president of Princeton, Robert Goheen, was fond of saying, and I paraphrase, "If at the time of graduation, graduates feel they have both feet firmly planted on the ground, then the university has failed you." And that brings up a controversial subject of the day that I feel obligated to address. It dates back to 1961. Physical chemist and novelist C.P. Snow's essay highlighted the divide between two cultures, with humanities and arts on one side and sciences and technology on the other. Choosing one path over the other would impede the solving of the great problems confronting humanity. This insightful essay by an esteemed scientist and novelist cautioned against adopting a single focus. Today we see this evidenced by the trend to promote a vocational education. However, to be a transformational university, we must reaffirm the importance of a broad-based liberal education, one that allows a broad comprehension of the world and equips students with the context and ability to apply knowledge to solve real-world problems. I love this quote from Drew Gilpin Faust, the first female president of Harvard University. A university is not about results in the next quarter. It is not even about who a student has become by graduation. It is about learning that molds a lifetime, learning that transmits the heritage of millennia, learning that shapes the future. We must liberate the minds of our students rather than simply preparing them for a single career path. The majority of our students will complete a bachelor's degree and then seek employment in an area with no tangible connection to their major area of study. If we've done our job well, these graduates have the soft skills of creativity, teamwork, collaboration, and communication that employers today are craving. The major, be it history, biology, or philosophy, has been a focus that can be viewed as a thought laboratory, where students can explore in-depth subject areas and databases and graduate entrepreneurial in spirit and respectful of individuals and multiple viewpoints. On the other hand, it is also our duty to do everything possible to engage our students in their chosen discipline so that some of them will become passionate about the subject area and pursue a graduate degree and a more defined career pathway. In my case, as an uncommitted undergraduate in biology, I was still conflicted by my love of art and photography and science until I conducted a research project at the Marine Station of the University of London. I remember well conducting a habituation study on the beating of cirri of two species of barnacles, and their names have become etched on my brain, Balanus balanoides and Cathalamus stellatus. That experience was transformational to me, and I became a marine microbial ecologist after pursuing my Ph.D. Who would have thought I became a faculty member and researcher for 7 years at that very same marine station 20 years later? Another 10 years on, I was sitting in my office in an oceanographic center in Florida when I was called out of the blue by the head of King's College London, offering me the directorship of that same marine station. I clearly turned that down, but the point is we cannot predetermine our career paths, and we must not try to do the same with our undergraduates. Life happens and choices appear out of the blue. Our responsibility is to give our students every encouragement to find their passion and path, whether it's in art, history, philosophy, or science, and then give them the skill sets to make informed decisions. So how do we assure a transformative education experience for all our students? I am deeply grateful to our faculty, to the staff, the students, and the community who, in response to my challenge a few months ago, have produced a new strategic plan for this university to guide our next 5 years. There are 5 lofty goals that will drive our forward momentum. UA Little Rock will prepare students for success. We will strengthen and support the human resources and infrastructure necessary to fulfill our mission and vision. We shall encourage and support research and creative activity. We will serve as an active partner in the community, and we shall improve diversity, inclusion, equality, and global understanding in the campus community. These priorities are in line with our uniqueness as a member of the Coalition of Urban and Metropolitan Universities and as a Ph.D. granting research university with Division I athletics and a leading law school. They keep us focused on the goal of being a driver of economic development in the region, creating a skilled workforce for Central Arkansas who are civilly engaged, vibrantly involved citizens, contributing to the strength and culture of our metro region. We take our role seriously. Of the 41,000 alumni addresses we have in record, 80% have addresses in Arkansas. We're committed to making education affordable and accessible to Central Arkansas, even to those students and families who have not seen an affordable path to higher education. There is no mobile upward mobility for a student who graduates with $30,000 worth of debt, the average across America today, and then who enters the workforce with a salary of around $40,000, the starting level for most undergraduate level graduates. To serve the region and our students, we must talk to them about cost and help them with work-study jobs, scholarships, and need-based aid. We have begun this dialogue with our local high schools. Attending your local university reduces costs by 70% and makes higher education affordable. If we accept a student into this university, it is our duty to ensure that student, from the least prepared to the most prepared, has the ability to succeed. Again, in line with our plan, we are boosting infrastructure to help retain and graduate our students through improved advising, improved campus life, and a multitude of other changes to make us one of the most student-friendly campuses in the system. It is important to remember that recruitment extends throughout the entire freshman year. To serve our region, we want to give opportunities to more students, hence our new slogan, 15 in 5, or 15,000 students in 5 years. To prepare them for the unpredictable future workforce needs, we shall build research and creative activities so that our undergraduates will have the opportunity for a genuine, relevant experience in research, scholarship, performance, study abroad, or an internship with industry as part of their degree to give them that extra, those soft skills that employers are demanding. We shall take a fearless look at our curriculum to ensure we're providing the right education for the changing job market. And we are boosting community engagement through community-focused projects and skill-based certificates for our students and for the community to provide basic skill sets to match employer needs. Our Anderson Institute of Race and Ethnicity, named after its founder and previous Chancellor, Dr. Joel Anderson, will be strengthened to increase awareness of the issues of race and ethnicity so that we remember the past and take action for a better future for graduates who are multiculturally competent. Many changes will require additional resources, so we have begun the preliminary work for a capital campaign, the details of which are still unfolding. Student success is at the heart of the campaign, and the message is clear. Invest in UA Little Rock and you're investing in the city and the region. Clearly, lots of changes ahead, but our commitment to our long-standing motto, Cultus Veritas Scientia, translated as cultivation of the soul, truth, and knowledge, remains our focus. That is the foundational strength of this great university that I am so proud to lead. Let's be fearless as we move towards becoming that transformative 21st century university. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Chancellor Rogerson. I'd like to invite everyone to now join us for a reception on the mezzanine, but I ask that you please remain seated until the recessional ends. Thank you, each and every one of you, for coming today and for sharing this very special day with the University of Arkansas at Little Rock and with the Rogersons. Thank you.